Almost exactly 2 years ago today, I was standing in another red circle. I was at my home university, the University of British Columbia, Okanagan, giving my first TEDx talk. In that talk, I explained how I am a language fangirl, someone who is immensely passionate about language and about what people do with language. And in that talk, I was explaining, well, I thought it was important for all of us to be fans of language. I'll get back to that in a minute, but fast forward to now. Recently, I have developed a new appreciation and love of language through watching my son, now 21 months old, learn to use and to play with language. As a language fangirl turned mother, I was fascinated by the trend of what many people call baby sign. This is the idea that you can use sign language, ASL, or also known as American Sign Language in my case, to teach babies to communicate, since they are able to make approximations of the hand movements sooner than they are able to control their vocal cords to make a wide range of sounds. Basically, it lets babies communicate more easily sooner. Of course, as a language fangirl, I started signing at my son when he was just 2 months old, way sooner than was necessary, since babies aren't able to reciprocate sign until they are much older. When he was about 8 months old, he started signing back, and he began to use more and more signs and the spoken words to go with them. But then, the coolest thing happened. He started to make signs of his own. Take a look. He developed a sign for the word weird. Weird. What's weird? So this wasn't a sign we had taught him, and it's not the ASL sign for weird, which is this. We had said the word around him, and in fact, we realized how often we said the word weird once he started signing it, but it wasn't a word we had explicitly tried to teach him the meaning of. He took what he knew about language and created new pieces to suit his needs. He perfectly illustrated language creativity. Sure, he wasn't making a poem or writing a piece of literature, but he was playing with language. He took this as an everyday event, but his creativity brought delight to myself and to my husband. And we loved that he had made a new sign for the word weird, and we laughed every time he used it. But it made me realize sometimes listeners enjoy creativity more than speakers. But why does this matter? Studies have shown that creativity can be beneficial to groups, but sometimes it can be challenging for us to retain our sense of creativity as we grow up and concentrate on the daily work of being an adult. Creativity, however, has been included as one of the unique features of human language, as described by an anthropologist named Charles Hockett when he looked at what he called the design features of language. And in the world, there are approximately 7,099 languages, a huge potential for creativity as well as diversity, and how languages can be put together, but also what they can tell us about the world. Unfortunately, for those of us who are language fans, there is also the reality that 90% of the world's languages are also considered to be endangered, at risk of no longer being spoken as the first language in the home, or even spoken at all, as numbers of speakers continue to dwindle in many communities around the world. But there is hope, and that is what I spoke about in my last TEDx talk. In that talk, I described my work with fans of the Na'vi language spoken in the movie Avatar, and how they could possibly be a model for speakers and learners of languages in endangered indigenous communities. One of the things I mentioned was that fandoms are known for creating gifts for each other, such as fan fiction, fan art, or in the case of the Na'vi speakers, dictionaries and grammars. And I explained why these were useful tools for learners of Na'vi, and they were encouraging for them. Shortly after my TEDx talk appeared online, it was reviewed by an online fandom website, the heartbeat of geek culture, the Mary Sue. I was thrilled. It was a wonderful review, and it captured my talk well, but there was an interesting misquote in the last line of the review, which read, quote, "Oh, and according to Schreyer, creating GIFs, fan fiction, and fan art is a great tool for memory. So keep at it," end quote. Creating GIFs, G-I-F, not gifts, G-I-F-T. As a linguistic anthropologist, I found this fascinating. I love when things like this happen, when pronunciations of one word become heard as something else. Creativity, delight. After I savored the moment, I turned to the idea of a GIF. Could a GIF be a language gift? Something that learners could use to help further their goals of learning a language? Maybe. I've spent the last year or so thinking about this idea, and here's what I've thought about. A GIF, also known as a graphic interchange format, is a series of 3 images looping in sequence to create a sense of movement. They can often be used in social media to convey emotion, but can they be used to convey language? At first, I was unsure, as GIFs are often silent, with written language included as overlay, such as this example from Harry Potter fandom. Snape approves. But what if we had a familiar meme, and we had new words in a different language? Would that allow you to learn the language more easily? Maybe. I was thinking about this for many months now, and I've wondered, can languages, particularly endangered languages, be gifable, memeable, hashtagable? Actually, I think they can. I've been following a wonderful woman on Twitter now, a public speaker named Savvy Simon, who developed the hashtag #SpeakMi'kmaq and the catchphrase, "El no easy, it's that easy," which means let's all speak Mi'kmaq together. And she has promoted her community's language online in YouTube videos, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Take a look at one of her videos here.
Argosin.
Hat. Oh, Louise.
It's that easy. Argosin.
Hat. Oh, Louise.
It's that easy.
Her love of her community's language and her enthusiasm shine through in this language gift for her community. Another example of the memeability of languages occurred recently on February 21st of this year, 2017, which is International Mother Language Day. A group of organizations dedicated to the promotion and encouragement of use of Indigenous endangered languages developed the Meme ML Challenge, or the Meme Mother Language Challenge, which encouraged language users to create new slogans for familiar memes in their own language, such as this example of Jack Nicholson saying, "You can't handle the truth," in Cree, an Indigenous language spoken across the prairies in Canada. Or this example of Captain Picard saying, "What's wrong with you?" in the Indigenous language of Karuk, spoken in Northern California. The creator of this last meme, Susan Gare, said in an online interview, quote, "I made memes because they make me laugh," end quote. She also said that she was participating in this challenge because it allowed her to engage in learning her ancestral language with her son, a language gift for her son. So, rewind and think back to my son at the beginning of this talk. Did you learn the sign for his word for weird? Think back, and when I count to 3, sign my son's word for weird. 1, 2, 3. Weird. Did you remember? Some of you did. Did you get it exactly right? Maybe. Did you have fun doing so? Wonderful. So, can language GIFs or memes or hashtags be language gifts? Absolutely. They provide us an opportunity to play with language, to express our creativity, but also to share our emotions, our fandoms, our lives. So let us delight in the creative, both for ourselves and for our listeners.